So I had a few things I wanted to do. I've got some, went through, I wanted to do a little experiment with you. I've gone through some of the stories and I just wanted to hear some specific comments because as I was reading through, there's some passages in the stories, and I'm not even going to mention the titles, that really struck me, either because they're funny or because they were revelatory for the story, or there was a certain choice of words, and one especially where there was a certain rhythm about it that I found very kind of affecting. And I just wanted to go through those, and you can either say 3 words about it or say, "Yep, I wrote that," or whatever you want to comment, and I might have something to say about them as well. So uh, I really like the title story because it describes like a town where there's not really much going on. So basically, you take the structure of, say, if these were cops in New York City, there'd be, lots of stuff to, the suspect would be a drug dealer or a prostitute, or there's a murder taking place. But I've got this in front of me now, the story, and it's where someone is saying to the other person, and this is a direct quote from your story. There's there's a squirrel. They're describing 2 squirrels. Subject is a few inches tall, half a pound, light brown fur, bushy tail, nervous, darting eyes, and a twitchy body language. I find that very funny. But the great thing about it for me is that I guess the 2 things that stand out, the 3 things. One is that, I mean, laughter is one of those things that you can't deny. If it happens, you find it funny. But the other thing about it is that it it illustrates something about that small town in that kind of way. But the other thing is that there's language in there that would be applicable to New York as well. If someone had darting eyes or was a bit twitchy, that could be indicative as well. So that's what I found the beauty of it, that you were indicating what it's like in a small town, but actually using some of the lingo that would be quite appropriate to New York City as well. Uh, what are your comments? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a pretty slow day in Port Moody if the squirrel is the chief suspect. Um, yeah, the whole title of the thing, "No Call Too Small," it initially struck me as a quite hilarious thing. I thought it was just for the Port Moody Police Department, their particular thing, but it's North American wide. It's the notion that there is no crime that's too small to report, and you got your iPhone stolen, you should call it in because maybe we'll catch a guy with a stolen car, and guess what? Inside there is your cell phone, and isn't this great? But when I initially read about that, I kind of thought, like, the attitude is, please call us. We're so bored. There's no crime in this district. And you can see it. I think you can just imagine what it's like for some of these police departments, because I think Port Moody is like that. I don't think there's a lot of serious crime. But 22 kilometers to the west is the downtown east side, where there's people overdosing like crazy on fentanyl, and you're trying to use protocols not to touch them, and there's all these drug gangs, and people are shooting up right in front of you. So, I mean, I guess I was trying to kind of illustrate how slow this police department was. Probably totally unfair to the police department of Port Moody, but that's the story that I imagined.